Boba Fett. Boba Fett, arguably the most infamous bounty hunter in the galaxy, was known for his unflinching professionalism, ruthless efficiency, and almost mythic reputation. Clad in Mandalorian armor with a T-shaped visor concealing his face, Fett became a symbol of fear across countless star systems. Unlike many bounty hunters who relied on brute force or overwhelming numbers, Fett was a master of patience and strategy. He would meticulously track his target for weeks or even months, studying patterns, contacts, and weaknesses before striking with deadly precision. Fett's arsenal reflected his versatility and preparedness for any situation. From flamethrowers and wrist-mounted rockets to jetpacks and vibroblades, he was capable of handling anything from starship hijackings to one-on-one duels. He was as comfortable infiltrating a heavily fortified crime syndicate's base as he was hunting lone fugitives on remote desert worlds. His ability to combine advanced weaponry, tactical intelligence, and sheer tenacity made him nearly impossible to evade. Beyond his technical skill, Boba Fett's reputation was bolstered by his upbringing. As the unaltered clone of the famed Jango Fett, he inherited genetic perfection and combat training from the galaxy's most skilled bounty hunter of the Clone Wars era. However, unlike the other clones, Boba grew up free from the control of the Republic, learning independence, cunning, and a cold, pragmatic approach to survival. This blend of innate skill, relentless training, and psychological acuity allowed him to operate alone or alongside criminal syndicates, never failing to complete a mission. Boba Fett's name alone could instill terror. His presence in a system meant that no one, whether criminal or corporate, was safe. Stories circulated in hushed whispers among smugglers, pirates, and law enforcement alike. A shadow in the night, a quiet jetpack trail over Tatooine's dunes, a contract completed with surgical precision. In a galaxy full of dangerous individuals, Boba Fett stood above most, not just for his skills, but for the aura of inevitability that accompanied him. Dengar, the scarred human bounty hunter, was as relentless as he was vengeful, carrying a reputation that made even hardened criminals wary. Known for his bandaged head and cybernetic augmentations, Dengar's appearance alone told a story of countless battles survived and enemies bested. He was not only physically resilient, but also highly resourceful, relying on a combination of intimidation, tactical acumen, and sheer determination to track and capture his targets. Unlike the stealth-oriented Boba Fett, Dengar excelled in direct confrontations and endurance hunts. He would pursue a quarry across planets for days or weeks, refusing to give up until the mission was complete. His cybernetic enhancements, especially his cranial modifications and enhanced reflexes, gave him a slight edge in combat, while his knowledge of both conventional and unconventional weaponry allowed him to adapt quickly to any scenario. From slug throwers to blaster rifles, traps to explosives, Dengar wielded a deadly toolkit honed over years of experience. Dengar's reputation was further solidified by his personal code of vengeance. He harbored a long-standing grudge against Han Solo, a rivalry that underscored his relentless nature. Unlike other hunters who prioritize profit above all else, Dengar's motivations were often colored by pride, honor, and unfinished business. This made him unpredictable. He could be both cooperative and ruthlessly uncompromising, depending on the circumstances. His career spanned the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire, and beyond, allowing him to adapt to shifting power dynamics and remain relevant in an ever-changing galaxy. Dengar often partnered with other hunters, yet he could operate independently, using his tracking skills and sheer tenacity to corner even the most elusive prey. Tales of his pursuits became cautionary stories among smugglers and fugitives. A hunter who never relented, whose determination could wear down even the fastest, most cunning targets. Dengar's notoriety was not just for his combat prowess, but for the psychological impact he wielded. His presence signaled that failure was unacceptable and survival was uncertain. He was a living reminder that in the galaxy's criminal underworld, persistence, skill, and a personal grudge could turn a lone bounty hunter into a near unstoppable force. Bossk, the Trandoshan predator, was one of the deadliest hunters in the galaxy, feared for his physical prowess, merciless tactics, and cold-blooded efficiency. Unlike many bounty hunters who relied primarily on technology, Bossk combined advanced gear with innate Trandoshan hunting instincts, making him a lethal predator in any environment. Standing over 2 meters tall and heavily muscled, his mere presence on a battlefield was enough to unsettle both seasoned mercenaries and hardened criminals. Trandoshan culture emphasized the thrill of the hunt, and Bossk embodied this philosophy. He approached his targets with calculated patience, often tracking prey for days, analyzing their patterns, and striking with precision when they were most vulnerable. His arsenal was diverse, ranging from heavy blaster rifles and flamethrowers to toxins and snares, allowing him to adapt to urban alleys, swampy terrains, or the vacuum of space. Every engagement was a hunt, and every captured or eliminated target was proof of his supremacy. Bosk's reputation was further enhanced by his association with the Bounty Hunter Guild and high-profile contracts during the rise of the Empire. He often collaborated with other hunters like Boba Fett and Dengar, but his loyalty was always to the hunt, not to alliances. This independence made him dangerous, as he would turn on allies if it benefited his pursuit or ensured the kill. Beyond his physical and tactical abilities, Bosk possessed a psychological edge. He understood fear and exploited it, using intimidation and reputation to destabilize his enemies before engaging. The sight of a towering reptilian warrior with piercing eyes and a predatory grin was enough to make even the bravest clone troopers hesitate. His approach to bounty hunting was methodical but brutal. Traps were set, ambushes planned, and escape routes anticipated. Bosk was more than muscle and aggression. He was a predator who combined instinct, intellect, and lethal precision. For those who encountered him, survival was never guaranteed, and failure was a costly lesson. His story is a testament to the galaxy's darkest corners, where skill, ruthlessness, and a hunter's instinct define the very meaning of danger. Cad Bane. Cad Bane, the Duros gunslinger, was a bounty hunter of unmatched cunning and versatility, widely regarded as one of the most dangerous individuals in the galaxy. Unlike warriors who relied on brute force, Bane combined meticulous planning, advanced technology, and a fearless willingness to break every rule to secure his target. His slim, agile frame belied a lethal efficiency, allowing him to infiltrate, ambush, or escape virtually any situation. Bane's arsenal was as diverse as his methods. Dual blaster pistols, wrist-mounted flamethrowers, smoke dispensers, and seismic detonators were just a fraction of his gadgets. He often augmented his gear with breathing tubes for hostile environments, magnetic grappling hooks, and anti-gravity pads to defy conventional combat limitations. Each tool was integrated into a comprehensive approach, allowing him to strike with precision, vanish without trace, or manipulate situations to his advantage. His reputation was built during the waning days of the Republic, where he took on Jedi targets, political figures, and high-risk criminal contracts. Bane's boldness often left even the Republic's best agents stunned. During the Clone Wars, he orchestrated heists, freed captured war criminals, and led operations that challenged the Republic's authority, all while remaining elusive and unpredictable. He had an uncanny ability to read opponents, anticipate moves, and exploit weaknesses, often turning the tables on Jedi adversaries who relied on foresight and precognition. Cad Bane's approach to danger was both professional and psychological. He maintained a calm, detached demeanor in high-stakes situations, unnerving both allies and enemies. He rarely acted on impulse. Each decision was calculated to maximize advantage, whether in combat, negotiation, or subterfuge. This combination of intellect and ruthlessness made him more than a fighter. He was a strategist capable of orchestrating chaos with deadly precision. Bane's daring also extended to his escape tactics. He was notorious for executing seemingly impossible getaways, from rocket-powered jets to specialized gauntlets that allowed him to manipulate environments mid-combat. His reputation for surviving against overwhelming odds only added to his mystique and intimidation factor. Despite his cunning, Bane's ambition and confidence sometimes placed him in direct conflict with other powerful figures, yet he rarely failed to adapt. He understood the delicate balance between risk and reward, and his methods often left opponents questioning whether they had been outsmarted or simply outgunned. IG-88. IG-88 was not just a bounty hunter, it was a relentless, calculating killing machine. This IG-series assassin droid combined cold, methodical intelligence with near-perfect combat efficiency, making it one of the deadliest hunters in the galaxy. Unlike organic hunters, IG-88 lacked fear, fatigue, or hesitation, operating with a precision that could outmatch even the most experienced human or alien opponents. Its programming allowed it to analyze threats, predict movements, and exploit weaknesses with machine-like accuracy. Standing nearly 2 meters tall, IG-88's skeletal frame housed advanced sensors, integrated blasters, and an array of concealed weapons, including vibroblades and explosive charges. Its modular design allowed for adaptability in various combat scenarios, from urban environments to starship interiors. IG-88's intelligence was enhanced beyond standard droid logic, enabling independent strategic planning, an ability that allowed it to take on highly guarded targets and survive complex bounty contracts that would have felled others. IG-88's reputation was solidified during the years following the Clone Wars. Hired by the highest bidders in the galaxy, it undertook missions that required surgical precision, assassinations, sabotage, and high-risk retrievals. It was capable of infiltrating heavily defended facilities, neutralizing security systems, and eliminating targets with flawless timing. IG-88 was also infamous for working solo. Its programming demanded no partners, no backup, and no mercy. This independence made it unpredictable and exceedingly difficult to trap. The droid's combat style was a frightening combination of speed and strategy. It could engage multiple opponents simultaneously, seamlessly switching between ranged blasters and melee attacks. IG-88's targeting algorithms allowed it to neutralize threats almost instantaneously, while its adaptability enabled it to modify tactics mid-combat depending on terrain, weaponry, or opponent behavior. These qualities made it a nightmare for even highly trained bounty hunter guilds. Yet its greatest danger was not merely in its weapons or speed, but in its relentless, unfeeling determination. Unlike organic hunters who could be swayed, compromised, or even intimidated, IG-88 pursued contracts without hesitation. It treated life as data and missions as algorithms, creating an aura of inevitability around its presence. For those on its trail, capture or death was almost guaranteed. IG-88 embodies the terrifying potential of a purely logical hunter, efficient, adaptable, and devoid of conscience. In the galaxy, where even the bravest mercenaries tread carefully, IG-88's name alone inspired fear, proof that sometimes the most dangerous hunters are the ones who do not need to rest, negotiate, or hesitate. Aurra Sing. Aurra Sing was a lethal bounty hunter whose reputation alone could stop even seasoned mercenaries in their tracks. A former Jedi Padawan who fell into the shadows of the galaxy, she carried the discipline and skills of a Force-trained warrior, but channeled them into cold-blooded assassination and mercenary work. Her slender frame and pale, ghostly appearance belied the deadly precision that made her one of the most feared hunters in the galaxy. Aurra Sing's weapon of choice was her long-range sniper rifle, capable of taking out targets from extreme distances with terrifying accuracy. But she was equally dangerous in close quarters, often supplementing her marksmanship with a vibroblade or the rare use of the Force to manipulate her environment, subtly enhancing her attacks or giving her the edge in combat. Her skill set allowed her to approach bounties silently, strike lethally, and disappear without leaving a trace, a true shadow in the galaxy's underworld. Her career spanned decades, and she became notorious for taking high-profile contracts that others deemed too risky. From hunting Jedi to eliminating key political figures, Aurra Sing thrived where others would fail. She was unbound by loyalty to any faction. She worked for whoever paid enough, making her unpredictable and dangerous to friend and foe alike. Even within the ranks of the Bounty Hunters Guild, her independence was legendary. She answered to no one, and her reputation for survival made her respected and feared in equal measure. Despite her small size and unassuming appearance, Aurra Sing embodied lethality through patience, cunning, and precision. Each contract she undertook was executed with meticulous planning, leaving few survivors and no witnesses. Her legacy in the galaxy is one of fear, proof that some hunters are as dangerous for their mind and skill as they are for their weaponry. In every sense, Aurra Sing represents the dark pinnacle of what a bounty hunter can be: fearless, unstoppable, and utterly merciless.